Welcome to One More Today. I'm Sophie, piloting to the Universal Chinese. I spent too much time yesterday talking about a woman next to woman. That means coral. Well, today we have another thing, one next to another. When you look at a contemporary Chinese simplified version, it looks asymmetrical, right? Because here is a side way stroke versus this side is straight. And also the top, the two dots, is not exactly the same. However, this was the process of when Chinese were symmetrical, like 2,000 years ago. Well, it's a lot on the screen because this is another interesting situation when not only simplified traditional doesn't look the same. Well, the traditional got this extra person next to it, but the traditional also have the second version of it. It looks totally different. Well, not totally, but it came from a different source. So this is like a two independently developed visuals to mean side by side because there are like two of them repeated, copy paste, exactly things. And when you see the contemporary Chinese, it's almost like intentionally we have the two dots like written in a different way, right? Okay, I'm trying to think about the stroke. That here we have from top left to bottom right, right? And then you can see the condense of stroke at the bottom right here, where the beginning point is thinner. Because you just, the tip of the brush just touched the paper and then increasing the pressure, so it becomes thicker. So that's an aesthetic thing. Versus the top right dot starts from the top right. So here's top left. This is starting from the top right and already kind of started heavy-handed and kind of taper off. So I believe this is visually differentiate the left and right intentionally so that it became asymmetrical so that our eyes have an easier time to hook onto things when things look a little slightly different. So it adds more, I guess, visual cues or visual interests versus it's not faithful to its original creation. If I didn't unpack this character, I wouldn't know necessarily that this bìng, this character that means simultaneous or together, actually was once symmetrical and actually copy-pasted each other like exact character, and they are not connected. It's like two separate entities side by side. So we can look at Xu Shen Dictionary's 2,000 years ago's version, the small seal character. Okay, this is easier one. Okay, this is a standing. By itself, in Chinese, it means a stand. So two, supposedly men, as we talked about yesterday, women were mostly in a domestic space. They didn't go out of their household to do anything. So basically they were kind of appendix to the family. We're not independent. So here, if you have somebody standing in front of you in a standing posture, kind of, I guess, broad-shouldered and two-leg firm standing, that posture itself kind of make a statement about the person's social status, confidence, masculinity, all of that. So two of them side by side give you the visual sense of, okay, they are, I'm not sure if it's in a wartime, a posture of two warriors standing side by side, that kind of context. But here we do have like two grown men side by side facing you. So it's kind of not backing off, right? So they're kind of alert. So you have to think twice before mess with them, right? And the top one is actually the ancient weapon. And you can see this long staff or spear, right, with some hooks. And the top here are knives or some weaponry made of metal with sharp edge. Or axe, I guess, an axe attached to the end of a long spear. And I guess that's ancient warfare, I guess, major weaponry, equivalent of the Western movie of some cowboy figure with double gun barrel shooting thing, versus here was ancient double-axed spear. You can, I guess, a more experienced warrior trained to fight with both arms to wield the two weapons. It's like a double empowered with that. And that's why the traditional Chinese add this human figure as the weapon user, using both of them. So if you see this, means double weaponed or double guarded or stand still kind of posture facing you. This double down or side by side or reinforced by another one of those give you the sense of, okay, there was no dominant side or one on top of another. It's side by side, equally strong, powerful, and both of them give you the sense of it's probably related to wartime, to weaponry, to fighting, either defense or offense, right? So came from that source, eventually means simultaneous, means at least the two weapons or two persons or warriors are doing the same thing, like facing toward the same goal. Okay, 并合并重组. This is contemporary Chinese, and it's more of a, I guess, economic term. We're talking about mergers. 合并, 合, come together. 并, side by side. 重组, reorg. That's a Chinese 重组 exact translation. 重 means repeating. 组 means organization. So 合并 is this merger. So merger is side by side, but I mean, probably in reality it's not exact side by side, because when two companies merge into one, probably one is more, eventually came out like a more resourced, bigger team, get more dedicated into more bigger roles, right? So at least at the beginning, it was regarded as side by side. So at least two parties involved in this 合 is the result. Like they combine into one from this side by side, two entities. Okay. 并驾齐驱. Here we're talking about ancient times horse-drawn or horse-powered chariot. This 驾, as you can see here, we have this horse symbol up there, and 驾 means harnessed horse, and 并驾 means at least two horses on harness. 齐驱, 齐 means synchronized in a synced way. 驱 means going forward. So 并驾齐驱 means either you have two projects, two movements, two things you want to kick into motion. Both of them are going together. It's almost like if it's a company, you have two initiatives or groups tackling something from their different perspectives, and they are doing it at the same time, and maybe one eventually win than the other. So 并驾齐驱, at least talking about before the finish line, we see two horses on harness. They are together in a synchronized way, going forward, galloping forward. So that's 并驾齐驱. Okay. 并联串联. I guess here is one way or the other in electric circuitry. 并联. What do you think? This is simultaneous, side by side. So it means parallel connection versus 串联. You can see here, it almost visually draw you this how things are stringed together. So 串联 is a series connection. One thing broken down on that path, all things broken down. Versus 并联 is simultaneously two parallel lines, and one side broke down, the other side still goes, right? So that's how Chinese translate, and through this expression we can see this 并 simultaneous probably match pretty well to this parallel concept. And here we have 4 humans, one after another, and they simultaneously standing up, facing you. And that's the origin, except the Chinese only use 2 human standing figures facing. The language used to express the side-by-side simultaneous sense. Thank you for your time. See you another day.